So yeah, Thanksgiving weekend in Canada is real cool because like I already have Fridays off because of my college schedule, meaning that I get a 4 day weekend and then a 3 day week, and after that is reading week. So we have a lot of free time after this really hectic week. So that's really cool. So Victory Road, I don't think I've shown this place, and if I have, I'm not gonna really care anymore about showing different places because this is pretty much my last battle in Black and White One. Most likely, I may have a couple more. Like I think I'm just gonna let my 100th be the Black and White Two because I think that would be cool. So yeah, even though it's gonna take a while for me to get a Black and White 2 match because adjusting to the meta game, I don't even know how the move tutors even work because I literally know nothing about the games. So it's probably gonna be a while before I get a Black and White 2 match going. But we have a Black and White 1 match against 55 Afro Thunder 2. Afro Thunder, just not there's no 2. But yeah, he's got a rain team, I got a sand team, or the other way around. Actually, I have a rain team, he has a sand team, but whatever. I decided to lead off my Polytoad, and because if he leads off with the T-Tar, I can just focus blast it to death. And I end up going for the Hydro because I knew I'd do a lot, but I miss, which sucks a lot because I'm not sure if that would have killed the Espeon, but at the very least, they would have done like 75%, and that missing really hurt me. He's also set up a light screen, which sucks even more. Gonna go into Celebi, and yeah, that does nothing because every reason why, resistance and light screen and all that bad stuff. So I'm gonna switch out, go into my fortress because I kind of want to set up some hazards, and I don't really figure this Celebi that much at all. So I'm just gonna set up some spikes. He ends up being a nasty plot set, so that's kind of whatever really. I'm just gonna set up some spikes to see what he wants to do. Since I do have the sturdy, I'm not really worried about dying at all, and Fortress by itself really won't be that useful since I really only have, well, actually Fortress and on this rain team is actually a little more useful than the Fortress on my sand team, but still. Set up some spikes, I'm just gonna, yeah, I think I set up another layer here. He's going for the Psychic here after getting to +4 and gets a crit, which hits me down to my 30. I'm pretty sure it didn't really matter. I mean, I'm pretty sure Psychic wouldn't have hit me down to my 30 without the crit, but I'm pretty sure it would have been a 2 a KO, so either way, I get a couple layers up, and now I am low, and I'm just like, well, I don't really feel the need to preserve this thing, because it's just a fortress. He doesn't really, it's not really threatened, like, getting the hazards up before the Espeon comes back was really what I wanted to do, since he doesn't have a spinner, he just relies on the Espeon, so that's why I kind of took advantage there. Going to go into Dragonite now, since I have the multi-scale, and this is one of those specially defensive mixed rain Dragonite things that are really awesome, and I fucking love this set, man. Like, I love this team just mainly because of this Dragonite alone, but gonna go for the Dragon Tail just to phase him out. He goes with Psychic, doesn't do over half because multi-skill plus defensive investment. Goes into Ferrothorn. I figure he's either going to set up rocks or go for the Leech Seed, so I'm just going to get the Roost up just to get some more health back. Unfortunately, he ends up going for the Leech Seed, so he's going to break my multi-scale, which is kind of sad, but I get one more turn of him not having hazards up, I guess, which really it doesn't make that big of a deal, but since my spinner is dead, he is gonna be able to set up hazards pretty freely now. So I figured he'd do that first, but I guess he's gonna do that now. I can't really hit him for anything, so I'm just gonna switch out here. Gonna go into my Ferrothorn to if he wants to hit me, which he probably won't, because up some spikes, obviously. And I'm just gonna get my rocks up probably, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And he ends up switching out because Ferrothorn on Ferrothorn is just not something you want to see. Someone has to switch out here. But I knew he was gonna switch into Espeon here, so I actually predicted that and went for the Gyro Ball because I'm good at this game. So Gyro Ball does a shit ton, almost takes him out. If I had hit that Hydro Pump early on in the game, this Espeon would have already been dead. Wouldn't have been able to set up that Reflect, and it would have made my life a million times easier. So Hacks, I hate you so much. Why do you hate me? So goes into Celebi now, since the Reflect is up, he can, like, take advantage of that and set up a bit. Just gonna go for the Gyro. I thought it still may do a decent chunk even with the Reflect, but I guess the Celebi doesn't have much speed investment because it still does, like, nothing after the Reflect, which is just really depressing, and I'm like, well, I really don't need my Ferrothorn for anything on his team, so I'm like, get my rocks up. Not sure, but at the same time, I kind of want to switch because I don't want this thing to set up too far. So I decided to go for the rocks there. I see that he goes for the Psychic here, and judging by how much it looked like it did, I'm just gonna stay in and go for the what's it called, the Gyro again, just to coax him into thinking that I'm gonna stay in, even though like I said, I don't want to be set up fodder. So I'm gonna like kind of make, like, at this point I know he's gonna go for the nasty plot again because he's not doing too much to me. He kind of wants to speed up the process and set up a little bit more. So here I'm pretty sure it's gonna nasty plot, so I can get a free switch into my Gengar and just hit him with a Shadow Ball, which should take him out of this range most likely because coolness. So yeah, he gets up to +4 again. I'm just gonna go for another Shadow Ball. He switches out surprisingly, which I didn't think he'd do at +4, but he ends up doing again and switches into his T-Tar to take the Shadow Ball and sets up his Sand. So that is gonna do like nothing, but at least he takes a lot of hazard damage, so that's kind of nice. But Sand comes up, Shadow Ball hits, doesn't do much, and I'm like, okay, fine. I know that at this range, I should be able to take out a standard, especially defensive T-Tar, with a Focus Blast, so I'm just going to go straight for it, and I know the worst, I know he's probably just going to set up rocks anyway, so it won't be that big a deal, but I missed Focus Blast, which sucks a lot, because this T-Tar would have been dead. Which is like, and you look at this, you're like, oh, that's not big of a deal, I'm fast, I can just hit him with another one, right? So I'm just going to go for it again, but this thing has the Chople Berry, as you'll see in a second. But like I said, if I hit my first Focus Blast, I wouldn't have to worry about me not killing because he has the Chople Berry, so he is going to be able to barely live it with the tiny little nub and take me out with a pursuit, predicting my switch half, I guess. But if I hadn't missed that Focus Blast, this thing would have been dead. The Weather War would have already been won, and I would have been happy, even though the Weather War's probably already won anyways because T-Tar's dead to hazards, but whatever. A Flex finally gone, decided to go into my Politoed just to win the Weather War because it's just like, yay, I win the Weather War. Hooray. This team relies a lot more heavily on there being weather since I've got guys with thunder and hurricane and stuff, so yeah. I'm just gonna go for the safe ice beam, half predicting him to go into his Celebi, and he just dies to a ice beam. Goes into his Rhyperior now. I'm like, I don't really want my Politoed to die now since Politoed is kind of a big threat to his team because it can hydro a lot of his guys, except for Celebi for a lot of damage. So I decided just gonna go into Ferrothorn as half as fodder, just see what he wants to do. Ends up going for the Earthquake. Does a lot more damage than I thought, since it does look like it's a defensive Rhyperior because I see leftovers. So kind of looks like if Maximin really wants to be nice to me, that I can take another one. But I really don't want to switch into my what's it called thing, my what's it called, Dragonite. I'm being so. I'm just nervous because I'm still. It's still like it's literally like an hour until I get my wisdom teeth out. And I gotta narrate this real quick, so I'm really not looking for that wisdom teeth thing. But gonna go into Rachi now. I'm pretty confident that a Grass Knot will take it out at this range, despite whatever investment it may have. He does predict that very nicely and goes into his Ferrothorn, which really does suck because I'm like, who predicts Grass Knot on Celebi? I mean, Drache. So yeah, Iron Barbs from a special attack are really rare, since I think Grass Knot's one of like the 3 special moves that actually do contact. But it is gonna hit me back for some damage, which really does suck. This is a Super Rashi in the rain, so at this point, it's really not looking really good for me. I'm just gonna go for the Psychic here because I really don't have anything that I knew he was gonna go for the Leech Seed, and I really didn't want anything else to get seeded since all of my other guys have higher HP stats. Actually, Politoed slightly lower, but Politoed really can't do much, and really the only shot I have winning this thing is to lower this Ferrothorn to the point where I can switch into Politoed, lock myself into like Focus Blast, and take out the rest of his guys, because if you've been paying attention to his team, all of his guys are weak to Focus Blast at this point, so to fighting in general, I should say. So just going to keep going for the Psychic and hopefully get him to a point where he's moderately low, kind of fishing for the special defense drops at 20%, but it does not bode well for our heroes at this point because with the Leech Seed, he's just gaining like most of it back. He's still at a surplus, but after he sees the special defense drop, he is going to switch out there, and I'm just going to go for another Psychic to play it safe, and it does a lot of damage because I'm a little ahead of myself, but I'm actually going to score a crit, which is nice. So some hacks for me, hacks one for me. But like I said, if I hit that Focus Blast, my Gengar wouldn't have been dead, and that thing would have threatened like his whole team, like hardcore. So that really hurt me a lot. I'm complaining about hacks, but that's what I like to do because it's fun. It's fun to complain about hacks. Gonna go for the Thunder. I know it's not gonna kill because judging by how much the Psychic did with a crit, I know it's probably especially defensive, and it doesn't kill. Goes for the Earth Power. I could have set up and gone for the Calm Mind if I wanted to, but I really didn't feel the need since the chances of me winning, me setting up Calm Mind would have made a difference in the end of the game, like, honestly. So, gonna go into Dragonite now, have to take the Stealth Rock damage, and I'm just going to go for the safe Thunder to take it out, hopefully, and he goes for the Taunt, predicting me to Roost, I guess, but I don't know why I don't know, whatever. So, Thunder is still gonna take it out, which is nice, and that thing dies, and Dragonite is at a pretty good amount of health, which is nice, because this thing's awesome, but it doesn't, the awesomeness of this team isn't shown in this match, unfortunately, and it's the first time I've uploaded this team, and I made this team, like, 3 months ago. God damn it. Because it's been destroying everyone. That's why. Rhyperior comes out. He's going to go for the Hurricane to see how much it does. And it... Oh, that's why I'm stupid. See, when I was playing this match before, I was wondering why Hurricane was doing so little, but I forgot that rock resisted flying. For some reason, I don't think of her. I don't know. That's why it did so little, because it's flying. I'm an idiot. Whatever. Gonna go into Politoed now. My one shot to win is if I just lock myself in Ice Beam, since I can take out the rest of his guys, and hopefully that it can take out this Rhyperior. But it cannot, because this thing is especially defensive Rhyperior, which is why I was taking the special hit so oddly well. So Politoed's gonna die to an Earthquake, and that's gonna make it be his match or her match. I don't know. I can't assume. You can't assume genders these days, can you? On the internet. But that's gonna be a good game, and yeah, that's it. And that's the last thing I need to record. So now I'm going to get up and then I'm gonna get ready, and I'm gonna go to the dentist, and I'm gonna get my wisdom tooth pulled, and then I'm going to be sad for the next week. So I'll see you guys then when I'm sad, apparently.